Hi, my name is Jacqueline Rose, and I do not think it's a coincidence that you're here. I think you're meant to be here. So, if this message resonates with you, follow along on my journey and click like and subscribe to my channel. This channel is about the spiritual awakening process, the ascension process, and anything that's self help. I just share techniques that I have applied to my life, and I share them with you, hoping that maybe you can take something and apply it to your life and make your life better. My intentions here are always better. So I wanted to film a video today about something that happened to me. I filmed a video last week about my son and having a meltdown. If you do not know, my son is high functioning autistic. And last week he had a meltdown, and I always say these things like always be choosing. It's a mantra of mine, always be choosing what you want in your life. And last week, I also say, don't let his meltdown become your meltdown. And that got the best of me last week. I was going to the gym. I had to meet a class at a certain time. He wanted to go to the neighbor's house. I wanted him to go ask the neighbor. And he had this like fear. I don't understand where the fear is coming from of walking to the neighbor's front door and knocking on the door. And I just like, in that moment, I didn't have time for it. He needed to walk and he needed to knock on the neighbor's door. Then he started crying. Then I wasn't going to send him to the neighbor's. It was a whole fucking ordeal. And then I started getting upset because I couldn't make it to the gym on time for my class. And today, the same issue presented itself again. And last week, I felt guilty about it. I was like, I'm just doing the best I can. I just became overloaded. And this morning, he wanted to go to the neighbor's house. I was going to the gym. He wanted to go to the neighbor's house. I didn't really didn't want to let him go. I was just like, I'm not asking the neighbor all the time to do this. And at the last minute, I was like, okay, go over there and see. And then it started again. He didn't want to walk through the yard. I mean, literally, it's 50 feet. I'm watching him. I'm in the middle of the yard. He's on the sidewalk. And I'm like, what is scaring you? You have to explain to me what is scaring you so I can help you in this moment. And he can't explain it to me. And I leaned down to tie his shoes, and I could feel myself getting mad, like just being like, why? Like, just walk to the damn door. And so I, in that moment, asked, I was like, please help me right now. Please help me. I see this playing out again, and I don't want to go there again. And I'm asking for help from the divine or angels or anybody that can help me in that moment. And so I told him we're going to go back inside because he started crying. And of course, I'm not going to send him to the neighbor's house when he's crying. And then I don't want to go to the gym while he's upset. And I went inside and I was like, I'm making a choice for you. I'm not sending you to the neighbor's house. I don't know what's scaring you, but if you want to go to your friend's house, you're going to have to walk through your fears. And unless you can tell me what your fears are, and I understand he's 8 years old, he doesn't really know. Then I can't help you with them. All I can do is say, you're going to have to walk through them. So we're going to the gym, which he did not like. And he started to have a meltdown and he wanted to go over there. And it's just, but I saw the moment where I could choose something differently. I literally was replaying in my head how I had chose a different scenario a week ago and how this could turn into that. And like I say, always be choosing. And his meltdown is not going to be my meltdown. So I wanted it not to become my meltdown. So I chose a different pathway. And I encourage, the thing is you have to stop in the moment. I think we get our egos, and I just last week got caught up in everything. And I was just like, oh, I gotta go. Like you gotta do this. And you have to sometimes just, or all the times, just kind of pause and go, okay, what's going on here? What's taking over right now? How can I choose different? And I've learned this in the last 6 months of how to choose my reality. What realities do I want to live in? What destiny am I going to? What kind of mom do I want to be? What kind of son do I want to raise? How am I going to do this? Because I want to change my reality, and I want to change my family's tree. I want to change my legacy. And the only way I can do that is by changing me first and the emotions, because my son feeds off me. He has a lot of fear, and I understand why he has fear, because I had so much fear and still do to this day. Me and his daddy have fears. We all have fears, but he is overloaded with that. When you understand how your brain is in the theta state from birth to, I believe, 7 or 8 years old, And all these messages, I had to go back and go, what messages did he get? Why did he pick these things up? How can I reprogram them? It's not only about reprogramming my brain, it is reprogramming his brain. But for me to be able to change the outcome of his future, I have to change me first. And so in that moment, while tying his shoes, I was able to go, okay, I'm going to choose something different. I'm going to go inside, I'm going to sit down, and I'm going to talk to him, and I'm going to say, here, this is what we're doing. We're going to go to the gym. I know you don't want to go to the gym. I know you want to go to your friend's house. But if you can't walk through your fears, then that's not a choice we can do right now until you can tell me what you're fearful of. Because I can't, all I can do is we have two choices. Two choices. You can go with me or you can go to your friends. And you can't do that. So then we have to do this. That was not the mom I used to be. And I have to pat myself on the back that I'm sitting there and I'm learning through, the experiences that I'm having with him. And I challenge everybody to go in the moment when you're getting frustrated. You have to be aware of your behavior and you have to be aware of what's going on. What is this teaching me? Everything is a lesson. Everything is teaching me something about myself, how I behave, how he behaves, how he feeds off of my energy and my behavior. If it's with your husband, if it's with your boss, if it's with your future, whatever it is, you have to be aware of it. And for so long, I was not aware. I was just reacting. And so there are still times that I get in this reaction mode and I don't feel good about myself because then I'm not learning. I am learning afterwards, but I'm not really learning in the moment. I don't want to bring it to that point. And so that's what I mean about being aware. Be aware of what you're doing every day. Be aware of how you're responding. And a lot of times I would be like, if it was with my husband, like, I respond like this because he acts like this. No, you respond because you choose to respond, Jacquline, third person over here. But you choose to respond that way. And you have to take responsibility. And even with my parenting, like even when I see behaviors that I don't like in my son, and I talk to my husband about this a lot, they are behaviors that he picked up from me and my husband. And I mean, they're just a sponge. And I mean, maybe he didn't pick up all the behaviors, but he picked up, I mean, we are overloaded with messages from society and media, and you pick up behaviors of what's funny, what's appropriate, what's not. And I had to really take a look at everything. And it's hard, I get mommy guilt real easily. I'm trying my best here, but it's hard. And I'm learning as I go. And the video that I talked about this last week, I said there's no manual for parenting, and I really wish there was. But every kid is different. And the only way we grow is when we are aware of what we're doing and how to change it or try to change it. I wanted to change my behavior in this way, so I was going to choose saying this and doing this versus me getting mad. And I could have walked up to the door with him and knocked on the door with him, but that's not, I did that for so long with my son. I did things for him because it would be easier on me, and in the long run, it wasn't easier on me. And it was harder on me. So I, as a mommy, and I explained to him, as a mommy, my job is to make you be the most successful human that I can possibly make you be, or have you develop into. And so sometimes it's doing things that you don't want to do, and there's a lot of things that I don't want to do, but I have to walk through my fears. And that's what my son will see. My son will see that I lost 75 pounds because I continue to do the same thing of after a goal. My son is going to see how I change my behaviors because I show him these things every single day. But yeah, I thought today was this was something I learned, and I always love to share what I'm learning in my everyday life. So maybe you can kind of be aware of where you can adjust your behavior or adjust your life or adjust your thought process or just calm yourself. When you meditate and when you get silent, you're able to see these things more. But I hope you get something from this, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Holler for a motherfucking dollar. Peace.